car with Mr. Peter David, a living legend, and we're heading to the warehouse so we can sign some stock, and then we've got an awesome signing tonight at Midtown Comics downtown.
Don't think of yourself as, I don't want to say a legend, but you don't think of yourself as somebody who's a voice inside somebody's head, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, I'm just a person. I don't think it's any really a big deal to be me. God knows I do not have an ego. Well, I mean, everyone has an ego.
Been in this industry for a very, very long time.
Yep.
And you've been a writer for a very, very long time.
I have. I've been a full-time writer since July of 1987.
It seems like it's harder to break into this industry nowadays anyway.
It's never been easy. In some ways, I suppose it's easier. I mean, thanks to the age of computers.
The fact that you can basically make anything yourself.
Yes.
100%. It takes that whole, oh, I've got to break into the industry out of it, because you can break into the industry. Nobody might know that you're actually in the industry, but you're there, you're doing something.
I mean, when I was endeavoring to break in, we had no communication system.
Of course.
Now we have the internet, and if I were just starting to try and break in, and I wanted to find an artist, I'd go on the internet and say, I'm looking for an artist.
Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse?
Of course.
You created Spider-Man 2099.
I did. Yeah, when we saw the closing sequence.
That's where I was going. Go for it.
It said, it cuts to a meanwhile in the way of a York, and when that went up there, I shouted, yes! Like that. And there was some reporter there, and they asked Dan Slott, who was it who shouted yes when that came up? And Dan said, yeah, that would have been Peter David. Yeah.
What's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
My favorite Spider-Man villains has to be Carnage.
There's so many villains. I'd have to say Mysterio, Dr. Octopus.
Oh, gotta be Venom. Like, that's the guy right there.
If you're talking about how much real time has passed in the Marvel Universe since Peter Parker first got bitten by a radioactive spider, I would say maybe about 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, in Symbiote Spider-Man, I have a battle occurring on the top of the World Trade Center. If only 10 years have passed, the World Trade Center's already gone 5 years. Right? So I guess to my mind, the Marvel Universe consists of before the World Trade Center and after the World Trade Center. You know, and so my attitude is the black and white costume is part of the before the World Trade Center era, and which will always remain.
Right. Okay, so by that rationale, where you don't really view yourself as somebody who should be worshipped, or even to say, hey, this guy mentioned me, he thanked me for thanking him, and now my life is complete.
Yeah.
So how do you deal inside your own head when you're at a signing like this, where it's going to be an hour and a half of people coming up to you, telling you how much they love your work, how much your work affected their lives, and what their favorite aspect of your work is?
I'm always happy to hear from the fans. I mean, writing is a very lonely profession, and you're doing it for the fans. And if they come up and express their appreciation, well, that's really what it's all about. If it weren't for the fans, I would have no career.
You have to have a real fur hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your favorite iteration of Spider-Man outside of Peter Parker?
Iteration of Spider-Man has got. That's a good question. Come back to me about that.
Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider.
That's mine too.
Futuristic 2099. Yeah, that costume is dope. Like that's a great costume.
Morales. He takes it to another level also, which is special, so that's a good thing.
There's so many of them. It's gotta be Superior Spider-Man, so technically it's Peter Parker, but it's not Peter Parker, it's actually Dr. Octopus in his mind.
Technicality. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
And he's from a different universe. So